Good morning. My name is Dylan Malizia, and this is my assignment for the Legal, Ethical, and Management class of 2021 at Florida Polytechnic University. My debate topic is if Bitcoin should become a global currency, and my stance is no, it should not. So, cryptocurrency isn't exactly a currency in the standard sense, in that it's more so an asset that you purchase and then you could spend freely through portals that have been created on the internet for spending, or so an asset which your cash can be stored. Um, just a little bit of miscellaneous info. The Bitcoin founder, Satoshi Nakamoto, his mission statement was that Bitcoin would be a currency that is free against government regulation and prevention. And to make that a global currency would be going directly against that idea, as that would require new infrastructure likely backed by global governments, and that would be going directly against said mission statement. So to go directly into the meat of the debate, there are many structural issues and societal norms that have come through normal currency that switching to a global crypto would be an incredible issue. So one of the big issues is that Bitcoin is incredibly volatile. It could be compared to something such as the stock market, in which at the beginning of its founding, Bitcoin was worth about 8 cents per coin. It was able to be purchased very freely and very easily. Um, but throughout the time, it did become very popular. In about 2017, it's topped at about 20,000. At the beginning of 2020, due to COVID, there was a bit of a panic, so Bitcoin dropped down to about 7,000 per coin. And then in that 1 year span between the beginning of 2020 and now the beginning of 2021, Bitcoin is around 60,000 per coin. So this is incredibly volatile compared to something as like a government-backed bill or something set against the gold or silver standard. So that makes it incredibly volatile to have an entire currency system based around it. Another issue is that it is too complicated for what can be seen as the common everyday person. Money needs to be able to use without a second thought. It needs to be as simple as walking up to a clerk in a grocery store and giving them a handful of cash or swiping a card so that you can get the items that you need. Mark Cuban stated that for cryptocurrency to be money, Bitcoin would have to be so easily used that it would be a no-brainer. It would have to be completely friction-free and understandable by everybody first. So easy, in fact, that a grandmother could do it. Currently, you do see now even older folk are confused by new card technologies such as the chip and NFC, so this would be incredibly alienating to someone who is just now learning how to use these sorts of technologies to switch to something such as Bitcoin for a global currency. Another issue is that switching directly to a crypto would be essentially anti-poor, as a lot of poor people don't have access to electronics. And to use a cryptocurrency which is based in electronics, that would be a essential necessity. One of the biggest issues is security. It is incredibly easy to use your wallet as that is tied to a passcode that after a couple of attempts it's going to lock out. A real world example of this is Stephen Thomas that in early 2021, he has his Bitcoin wallet saved on an iron key, which is a data drive that allows 10 attempts with your passwords before it encrypts forever. Unfortunately, he has since forgotten his password and only has 2 attempts remaining, which is locked out of his Bitcoin wallet, which has an estimated value of $220 million. Crypto data from chain analysis suggests that around 20% of existing Bitcoin is linked to lost digital wallets. And one of these biggest issues is that Bitcoin has a cap due to stipulations and limitations in the source code at 21 million Bitcoins. Currently, there are 18.6 million Bitcoins that have been mined. With that 20% that is suggested to be lost, it can't simply be deleted. So that is losing the global share of Bitcoin. Another big issue is that there is a mass ownership disparity. So if we did switch to something like a Bitcoin system, it's estimated that 100 wallets own around 13% of the Bitcoin supply, which would cause a massive economic disparity as Bitcoin is, like I said, limited. One of the biggest issues, though, with it being a crypto and everything being based online, unlike online banking, which is backed by physical bills, is that if something such as a government or a team of people who wanted to hack into the system were determined enough, they could very easily topple the new global economy that would be set up by Bitcoin. One of the biggest issues, though, is the power usage and environmental issues that would come by switching Bitcoin to a global currency. So, Bitcoin mining is what allows Bitcoins to come into existence, which is through the blockchain, which is a set of randomized numbers in which a large amount of decentralized computers, normally just average people who wish to give their computing power to finding the next section of the blockchain. It's much like a puzzle. And the issue is that this is a very intensive and randomized procedure. So this causes a lot of power usage to be used. And unfortunately, not every area uses renewable energy, so this could mean negative repercussions for the environment. In 2019, with an estimate for 2021 Bitcoin power usage, Bitcoin was projected to consume nearly 10 times the amount of power of Google and being on an almost equivalent power usage as the entire country of the Netherlands. This is currently with Bitcoin still being what is essentially an investment tool and slash or a fad. So if it was converted to an actual currency in which the Bitcoin stores themselves would need to be greatly increased, power levels would surge greatly, and unfortunately, not every country or area uses renewable energy, as about two-thirds of this energy that Bitcoin uses has been estimated to come from fossil fuels, so this would cause negative massive repercussions for the environment. In conclusion, I believe that Bitcoin is left better as an investment tool and what it is now, because there's just multiple negative repercussions for the environment. There's a lot that needed to be changed from a structural standpoint and from a societal standpoint that I simply do not believe at this exact moment that society is prepared for. Thank you.